I'm going to read a statement from myself, and then hopefully by that point we will have the statement here from the president of Clark Atlanta University, Dr. Carlton Brown, as well as the chairwoman of the Board of Trustees, Juanita Barranco. On September the 3rd, a tragedy occurred in the Atlanta University Center. Spelman student Jasmine Lynn was killed when she was struck by a stray bullet from a group of individuals involved in a physical altercation on Clark Atlanta University's campus. A student from CAU, where I proudly serve as a trustee, was also injured. I remain appalled by the senseless criminal act, and I remain unwilling to use the murder of a young woman for political ends. Any person willing to do so fails to comprehend basic human decency and the bounds of political rhetoric. Because sadly, this terrible criminal act was not the only one to affect the citizens of Atlanta on that day or that week or this year. Every day, our students, our children, and our neighbors worry about their safety. As the president of the Atlanta City Council, it is my obligation and my duty to work every day to make this city safer. As a candidate for mayor, it is my honor to ask for the privilege to serve Atlanta. But addressing the issue of crime is not simply a local issue, though the city must take the lead. It is a state issue as well as a national issue. Today, individuals claiming to represent students at the Atlanta University Center and at Clark Atlanta University called for my resignation from the Board of Trustees at CAU. They assert that I have not done enough to respond to the tragic shooting or to speak up for the safety of students of our colleges. They are misinformed. Let me restate, they are misinformed. On August the 21st, I met with the presidents of the Student Government Associations of Atlanta's colleges and universities. At that meeting, I offered to host subsequent meetings to continue the dialogue around issues of safety and decreasing crime near and on our campuses. The tragic death of Jasmine Lynn, the shooting of a Clark Atlanta University student, muggings at Georgia Tech, and the return of students to downtown and around the city necessitates a strong and coordinated response from the city of Atlanta. On September the 3rd, we were the only campaign to attend the full press conference held by Spelman College and Clark Atlanta University regarding the shooting. At that time, former Deputy City Attorney and State Representative Stacey Abrams spoke with Dr. Tatum and Dr. Brown as heads of Spelman's Public Safety Department about what could be done to immediately secure the campuses. On that same date, I spoke with City Council member and zoning chair Ivory Lee Young to determine how we could address the issue of abandoning certain streets to further secure the Atlanta University Center. In my capacity as president of the Atlanta City Council, I also contacted the SGA presidents to schedule a public safety meeting that will occur on September the 28th. On September the 7th, I coordinated with CAU's public safety team to identify the streets that needed to be abandoned and closed off. This conversation is the basis for legislation that will be introduced to the Atlanta City Council on September the 21st, the first available council meeting. On September the 9th, we released our intercollegiate public safety plan, which was devised using input from the public safety departments at the AUC, as well as Representative Abrams, who serves on the Judiciary Non-Civil Committee at the General Assembly. She has already begun work on legislation that will help get the AUC officers uniformly post-certified and change antiquated state laws that do not allow them to fully protect their campuses. On September the 10th, I met with the members of the Georgia Congressional Delegation to pursue federal funding that can help drive desperately needed resources to the city of Atlanta. Because we had committed to this meeting in August and wanted to honor our obligation, we sent representatives to attend a mayoral forum held at the AUC. We previously informed other candidates and the hosts that we could not attend. Atlanta cannot wait to be made safe. Leadership cannot wait for an invitation. I serve as the president of the Atlanta City Council today. I serve as a trustee of the Clark Atlanta University Center today. I will travel the length of this state and this nation to bring resources we need to secure our streets. I will work with city council members like Ivory Lee Young Jr. and Cleta Winslow and any other comer to get legislation drafted and working and passed quickly. I will work with the General Assembly and sitting legislator Representative Stacey Abrams to adopt the changes to state law that will allow the AUC police to do their jobs. She is a highly regarded legislator and the only one representing the city of Atlanta who serves on the Committee of Purview and has a full understanding of both city and state law. And I will meet with every congressman and every senator to fund the programs necessary to protect our children. Whether I meet them as president of the city council or as mayor of Atlanta, I will go when and where I can and do what must be done. More importantly, I question why my opponents in this race have not done the same. I will meet any student with any concern at any time and answer any question that they might have about my leadership. I owe them nothing less. But I will also make the tough choices to solve our problems today and not wait until November 3rd or January the 4th. Time is of the essence. I am the only candidate who has offered concrete, written plans on how to secure our colleges. And here is the plan. Step 1 will be communication. I will direct the Chief of Police to create an intercollegiate public safety liaison who reports directly to the chief and works with the zone commanders for each zone where a college or university is located. Step 2, oversight. We will establish an intercollegiate public safety council comprised of the presidents of all city colleges and universities and their public safety department heads, the mayor, the chief of police, the IPS liaison, and the sheriffs of the affected counties or their designees, as well as the presidents of the student government associations. Step 3, coordination. Coordinate with each school to establish a public safety plan that is reviewed annually by the Chief of Police and the sheriffs of Fulton and DeKalb counties to ensure that the schools can fully access local and state resources. Step 4, security. Expedite all abandonment and condemnation procedures for schools in high-risk areas such as Clark Atlanta University. Legislation will be introduced on September the 21st for Clark Atlanta. Streamlining. In cooperation with the AUC presidents, we will introduce state legislation on behalf of the Atlanta University Center to recognize the college and university police systems as a single unit for the purpose of cross-jurisdictional protocol. And last but not least, step 6, supporting the post-certification of all public safety officers on college and university campuses, including offering appropriate training through the city's police academy. I am the only candidate and the only person who is meeting with the student leadership on a regular basis to keep them engaged. I'm the only candidate who understands that the personal safety of our students cannot be held hostage as a matter of title. And quite frankly, I'm ashamed of anyone who would use a child's death for any reason. I stand here today to ask every student at the AUC to join me in honoring Jasmine Lynn's memory by making Atlanta stronger and safer. And I make that promise today to the students standing with me and every student in the Atlanta metropolitan area.